Cuts and he's away with a boundary. Nice start to his domestic 50-over career.
That's a great piece of fielding.
Yeah! Got him! U18. One for the leg spinner.
Leg stump finds a gap. Can he hit the stumps? Oh, I reckon he was out, but that'll do.
Opportunity. Oh, that is an absolutely sensational piece of fielding from Claire Koski at the back. Left indoor cricket, here he is. And there it is! He's entered the stats straight away.
Fraser McGurk cuts and he's away with a boundary. Nice start to his domestic 50-over career.
That's a great piece of fielding.
Yeah! Got him! U18. One for the leg spinner.
Leg stump finds a gap. Can he hit the stumps? Oh, I reckon he was out, but that'll do.
Opportunity. Oh, that is an absolutely sensational piece of fielding from Claire Koski at the back. Left indoor cricket, here he is. And there it is! He's entered the stats straight away.
Fraser McGurk cuts and he's away with a boundary. Nice start to his domestic 50-over career.
That's a great piece of fielding.
Got him! U18.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome back to Casey Stadium for the final game of the 2022 Junior Indoor Cricket National Championships. I'm Cameron Walter and I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, and I pay my respects to their elders past and present. It's the under-18 boys grand final between Western Australia and Victoria. I'd like to introduce first, and please join me in congratulating the umpire appointed to stand in the match, Shane Rook. And introducing first, the minor premiers, Western Australia. And their opponent on their home turf, Victoria. And ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts for a blockbuster finish to the Indoor Cricket National Championships. But first, here in the venue, if you could please be upstanding, it's time for the Australian National Anthem. Have it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, we're live from Casey Stadium. It's the Under-18 Boys Grand Final between Western Australia and Victoria. I'm Cameron Walter alongside Andrew Potts, and the tournament is coming to a conclusion with a grand final between these two blockbuster sides. It's the big dance. How do you see it, Pottsy?
Well, obviously Western Australia, they're undefeated. They've had a really good week. Victoria, they've come through the minor semi. Maybe they've hit form at the right time. So I think we're in for a really interesting game. Obviously, these finals matches, anything can happen, and winning 10 games out of 10 during the minor rounds doesn't really count for much now. So, let's see if Western Australia can continue their form or if Victoria peak at the right time.
You know what's interesting to me as I look at the ladder, Pottsy, and you're right, it doesn't really count for much now. So WA, yes, undefeated, but look at the four for all of the teams, of the top 5 teams, around about the same amount of runs scored. You don't really see that often, but the key difference of the 2 grand finalists, they've had only 800 or 820 runs scored against them. So interesting in that most of the sides here are batting sides, and the difference has been in the ball and in the field.
Yeah, hopefully we're going to see a really good fielding game, top level of the juniors. So, let's hopefully see some really good run-outs, some really good fielding. That's where indoor cricket's at its best.
I'll take you through the 2 sides contesting the final for Victoria. Their captain, Pratham Rage. He's joined by Zach Gretsch, Josh Smith, Ethan Davies, Alex Russell, Tivi Salwadara, Nick Tyndall and Cooper Sticht. Western Australia are captained by Ethan Benson. With him, Angus Bloxham, Jack Buckingham, Will Hardman, Cruz Harbour-Connell, Nick Hendry, Isaiah Denton and Tom Murray. Victoria won the toss and elected to bat. The umpire for the match is Shane Rook. Opening the batting for Victoria, Zach Gretsch and Tivi Salwadara. And the first bowler for the match is going to be Angus Bloxham. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your company right around Australia. We come to you live from Casey Stadium. It's the Under-18 Boys Grand Final, Western Australia and Victoria. And umpire Rook calls for play, and we are underway. Chance at the top. It's got to be a direct hit. It's just wide. It'll be a single to start.
It'll be a huge start. I think this Victorian pair got 46 last night in the preliminary final, so they really set the game up for them. 2 of their better bats. No Zach Gretsch made a few hundreds in the Dowling Shield as well over the summer, so definitely one of Victoria's stronger bats.
Bloxham continues. I think that caught the keeper's net. It'll just be a single to open the account for Salwadara. If I'm not a Victorian, what's the Dowling Shield?
It's the so all the premier clubs they play. I think it's under 17s competition, so it's the best of the state. So he's a pretty talented outdoor cricketer as well as indoor cricketer.
So it's a junior Premier Cricket comp?
It's a junior Premier Cricket comp. They play over 5 or 6 weekends and a Sunday during the season. So
you see here the field for Western Australia. 2 men on the legs of Zach Gretsch. Play through the gap between those 2 men. Flat shot, but it's again in the gap. It's 2.
In the gap, yeah. Solid start by these 2 Victorian batters as well. Look really confident coming off last night's performance.
2 balls remain. Oh, it's up. It falls safe. It'll be 4 runs to Salwadara. An appreciative home crowd makes their pleasure known. One to come now. And a great shot to follow up from Gretsch. It'll be 2, but a wonderful start for Victoria. 10 runs from it. They're talking about the path to the final. You alluded to it before, Potsy, as we look at some of the highlights. Interesting for me, WA undefeated throughout the tournament, but that major semi, only 8 runs. They nearly bottled it.
They did nearly bowl it. That was against New South Wales, who couldn't get over the line against Victoria last night as well. And Victoria's win was probably a bit more convincing against New South Wales. Obviously, those first finals for juniors, they can be some jitters, and maybe Victoria worked into it a little bit better playing an earlier one. But definitely good signs for Victoria.
Here's Nick Hendry. Starts just inside that leg side line. It's a dot ball. Tight on the legs, it's flat shot. There's an opportunity there for WA. Direct hit may have found Salwadara wanting. Home in the end.
definitely think direct hit would have been out there. A couple of flat shots, a couple of early chances. WA haven't been able to convert yet.
Stop ball. What's going to be a good score batting first if you're Victoria against the undefeated WA?
I think they've got to get 100. If they get over 100, that scoreboard pressure can really build in these files. It only takes one pair there to really lose the game.
It's edged, full safe, there's a chance at the top and they make no mistake. WA claim their first wicket. A bit of a gift run out in the end, they didn't need to do that, Victoria. And WA show their class, they're not going to let you get away with that.
No, it's a good bit of fielding, didn't panic. Yeah, those plays look easy on the camera, but you've still got to hit the receiver, straight over the stumps, and yeah, that's out by a long way.
And the advantage of a left armour on the offside.
Yeah, big one.
Hendry continues. Through the gap, it's 2.
Yeah, I think they need to get at least 100, as I was saying, but yeah, this pair probably needs to hit sort of 30 plus. They're one of their stronger pairs, so yeah, big 4 overs for WA.
Oh, it's similar this time. The batters stay in their crease. It's a dot ball to finish. A great over there for Western Australia. 1 wicket and -1 from it. Up 2 overs.
It sure is. Yeah, that was a really good over. Much better call there on the last ball by the Victorians as well. Not to, I guess, sometimes you can panic and think maybe we need to get that run back and we've already lost a wicket, but to call no and still take the score as 9 after 2 overs, yeah, you'd say it's probably even Stevens at the moment.
Western Australia enjoyed some success earlier today with their 15s girls taking out their title.
15 girls did, yeah. Their 16s went down to Queensland, but yeah, see how they go this afternoon.
Full and hit for 2 by Gretsch. Hardman is the bowler. It's a leg side. We should look at some players to watch with the bat in this Victorian innings. Gretsch is already out there. He's the leading run scorer for Victoria. Tyndall amongst the runs as well. Same with Ethan Davies. So plenty of batting in this side. Lots of them have scored 100 plus. Driven straight back to the bowler. It'll be a dot. Conversely, the WA side with the ball. Leading wicket taker is Isaiah Denton. Cruz Harbour Connell, he's got 10 as well. But other than those two, it's spread fairly evenly amongst the team.
There's no huge wicket takers in there, not like what we saw in the under-16s division where there were sort of guys up around 13, 14. They're sort of around that 10 mark. Maybe it's harder to get wickets, I guess, in the under-18s. Even that average against is sort of around 80 runs per innings, so that's still pretty high.
Indeed. Stop ball there as it's jammed out by Gretsch. One to come. Oh, wonderful shot off the legs of Gretsch for 2 to finish the over and 7 runs from it. They move to 16 for this pair with 1 to come. It's not going to be the 40-odd that they scored in the prelim, but it's not a bad start so far. A critical over coming up.
Yeah, it's not a bad start. I think WA would be pretty happy with the way they've started. They were seen last night, this pair get 46, and I think that worried them because Victoria just batted New South Wales out of the game last night, and you're on the back foot from after the first pair. If you consider 46, they're obviously not going to do that here. If they can keep them under 25, that's a real good start for Western Australia.
And Isaiah Denton is going to bowl, one of the strike bowlers with the wickets for WA. Starts with the leg side, and in indoor cricket, leg side is 2 runs, or any extra is 2 runs, but in the last over of a batting pair, the ball is re-bowled, otherwise it isn't. So Victoria help themselves to an extra delivery. Good position there from Gretsch, grabs 2.
Yeah, they can be so costly, those extras last over of a pair. That's where you can see a score turn from 25 into a 30, a 35. If it just snowballs, you bowl a couple of them, it makes a huge difference.
Driven. Not a bad piece of fielding, I tell you what. So one of those ones where the non-striker doesn't expect the ball to go to the keeper's end?
No. Sometimes, yeah, they can be found labouring there and not expecting it, and a play could happen that you don't expect.
Just a late decision to
move over the other side of the wicket from the non-striker.
Yeah, not paying attention which side the one fielder's on.
It's an opportunity. Direct hit. The diving Salwathera may have been short, but it is 2. Eke out 2. Keep that scoreboard ticking over with 2 balls remaining in the partnership.
It's been a really good over for Victoria so far. 10 off at a read. Yeah, if they can get up to that 30 mark, that's real positive for them.
Yeah, that'll should be the final shot for Gretsch in the tournament. He's going to finish with 21 for the innings, and that moves him to 213 for the tournament. So enjoyed a great tournament with the bat as Zach Gretsch. Final ball of the partnership. Driven up and down, side to back. He shakes his head, but it's 4 in the book. And Victoria, they've posted 32 runs from the first partnership, and they'll be very happy with that start. Both those young men and their side. It is the under-18 boys grand final as we look at some highlights between Victoria and Western Australia live from Casey Stadium. I'm Cameron Walter, with me Andrew Potts, and they'll be happy with that, Pottsy.
Oh, that last over's huge. 16 of the first 3 overs, 16 off the last over. It's that 4 off the extra ball that they've got out of the over. So, as I was saying earlier, the over when they bowled the extra, those extras could be really hurt. They could really hurt teams in the last over of a pair. It's not just that 2 runs they've given away. It's the 4 off the last ball as well that should never have happened if they bowl a dot ball. So, yeah, Victoria 32. That's probably their best pair. Let's see where they could end up after the end of this pair. And yeah, they'll be looking at getting over 100 if they want to go forward and win this game.
Now Alex Russell and the Victorian captain Prather Rage are at the crease now for Victoria. And Angus blocks him. He bowled the first over of the match. He's going to bowl the first over to this pair. So he likes the use of a newer, harder ball. 2-man leg side field. Fairly straight. Puts it outside off. A bit of an edge. They take advantage of the room on the offside and get through for a single.
Yeah, it's such a big court as well. I mean, even if they were fielding up there at point, it's going to be hard for them to get a run out there. So it's not an ideal shot, but it's a pretty safe one when you edge it through first slip in indoor cricket.
Straight to the leg side fielder, and it's a no. Safe shot. It is a single.
Yeah, solid start by these two. No wickets yet, so yeah, scored to 34.
Fairly deep sweeper on the onside. Gets in there late, still gets in there, so
yeah,
probably just wants that extra momentum, so starting a bit further back and moving all the way in.
Yeah. As long as he's getting in there, that's the important thing. Like we saw in the under-16s game. That was pretty costly for WA.
Block and a no. Do you think if you go in there with more momentum that can make it more difficult if the ball's hit back at you with force?
It definitely can if it's hit back at you with force. So I guess you're hoping that you're going to get that tentative shot towards you where you can come in really fast, get the ball and try to get a run out the keeper's end.
So wide to finish the over, 6 runs from it, first over for that pair. And Victoria looking okay at the moment on 38 runs, batting first in this under-18 boys grand final. It's always the case in grand finals in the early stages of the game, both sides trying to feel their way into it. The fielding side looking for that first wicket, that first thing that'll spark them. And I feel like that's where we are now, Potsy.
Yeah, they just need someone to get a ball cleanly, get a play at the top end or something, take a good catch and really get them on their way.
Tom Murray will be the bowler. It's the 6th over. Starts with a no ball, one off the pitch.
I would say if WA can sort of go on a roll, get a couple of wickets, the crowd's pretty even. It's not a huge Victorian contingent today. It's more just players from the tournament. So I don't think that's going to be a major factor for them. But
it's good position there from Pratham Rage. Flat shot, ultimately safe for 2.
Yeah, WA just need to sort of get a bit of momentum back here, get a couple of wickets and get on their way.
Beaten outside off. Again, plenty of room over there because it's a stacked onside field. They get through for a single.
Yeah, already up to 11 this pair. Haven't really had to do much. Just ticking it on nicely.
It's a direction again, Potsy.
Yeah, I know you don't like that.
And a leg side. Murray struggling for a little bit of control here. He's got that two-man leg side for a reason. He's looking to try and get that ball into the hip of the Victorian captain.
Just hasn't found his line yet. A few of them have been like that.
Oh, that's a great line if you're Pratham Rage. Bangs it down up 3 on the offside.
Yeah, it was a nice shot. Yeah, they're starting to look really confident, Victoria, now, and it's not time to panic for WA, but they do need some wickets.
There's a chance here. Oh, it's a fumble. Get through a single for the final ball of the over and 11 runs from it. If I'm not mistaken, you were copying a bit of stick there from the Hall of Famer Ross Gregory. Andrew Potts.
We've had Ross Gregory commentary before, and he struggled, so he didn't get invited back. So I think he's just jealous.
Yes, the Hall of Famer Ross Gregory is jealous of you, Andrew Potts, on commentary.
He's jealous he can't get a gig in the commentary, give his biased Victorian views. So the reason why we get in these commentary positions because we're neutral, so we can't have the president of ISB in here commentating the Victorian game.
Cruz Harbour-Connell is going to bowl the 7th over to the innings. Victoria looking pretty strong at this point and not offering that much in the way of opportunities for WA. Still a two-man leg side field. That's way off the pitch for a no ball.
They've bowled some bad balls in the last couple of overs. Really bad balls, missing the pitch, bad leg sides, and it's just letting Victoria get the score up.
Oh no, it was a wait, yeah. And a bit fortunate at the end there. If that ball had sort of fallen closer to a fielder, would have been in some trouble, but they get through, Victoria.
Yeah, already up to 20 this pair, 52 for the innings. It's, yeah, that score's starting to really add up, and WA do need some wickets.
And a drop ball. It's the first one for an over and a half.
Yeah. And 3 extras in that over and a half, which they just kill you.
Pratham Rage. He looks rock solid on that offside down-up shot.
Yeah,
really gets it wrong.
Really nice shot that, and yeah, he's looking really comfortable. All 4 of the Victorian bats have looked really comfortable so far.
2 to come. Left alone, and rightly so, well wide. Pratham Rage, a good leader of this Victorian side. I saw him, as we announced the sides onto the court, he led his team straight to the WA side, and they all shook hands, played and beaten there.
We
haven't seen
much
that.
Of that. No, not at all. I think we did pre-COVID. Yeah, we haven't really seen much of the handshaking before the games across the Opens or the Juniors. So.
And whether that's him as captain or maybe some guidance from coach Jeff Latham, either way, really good to see.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, Jeff's a funny little fella. So he's a big fella, but yeah, he's quite entertaining, and I'm sure that all the kids love him in that side. I know Juddy's coached them previously as well and had a bit to do with them. So
Juddy Perkins, the Victorian captain and men's captain, that is,
has been an Australian representative as well. So yeah, they've got the right people there telling them what to do. So that's why they're such a strong side.
Zaya Denton is going to bowl the 8th over. Rage on strike. Helps himself to another 2. Gives himself a quiet little fist bump.
Yeah, they're just doing it easy at the moment with the bat. Like when they're not getting an extra, they're just banging it up. So it's been really good.
Driven flat into the fielder. It'll only be a single. But when you hit the ball with that much power in the front court, even if it is flat, you make it really tough for the front court field.
Oh yeah, it takes a really good fielder to get that cleanly and get that to the stumps.
I think that may have been a box check. You might just need a few minutes. We hate to see that, folks. And while we're waiting, we'll let you know about a few things coming up at the end of the
end of the match today, we'll present the medals to the champions and the runners-up, as well as a shield to the champions. We take a look at a replay of that. And later tonight, we're going to announce the players of the final, the players of the series for all of the divisions, and of course the Australian All-Star sides selected from the best players amongst the tournament. Lots of cricket coming up as well, not the least of which includes the Indoor Cricket World Cup in October, alongside some amazing outdoor events. The women are going to the Commonwealth Games, the men are in Sri Lanka at the moment, the WBBL schedule's just been announced, the BBL schedule's coming, the Masters tournament's coming up in indoor. It's a great time to be a cricket fan, and we're back underway through Isaiah Denton. Oh, no feet that time from the VIC skipper, and beaten outside off.
It's probably an important 3 balls here, actually. Score's already on 60, so I saw it mentioned 100 as being a total Victoria would be looking for, and yeah, they're very close to that, I guess, at 60 through 2 pairs, and it's more than halfway. So WA haven't really looked like getting wickets.
And 2 to come now, following that single from the Victorian captain. And a shot off the legs from Alex Russell for 2 on the leg side.
Yeah, dream start here for Victoria. Both pairs above 30, provided they get out this last ball, although
the Victorian captain in a bit of discomfort here. I hope he's okay.
Seemed to hit the deck. I'm not actually sure what happened there.
Yeah, I think, was there a collision? I'm not sure. Did he run through and just hit the net awkwardly, or?
Yeah, I didn't see.
He's rolled his ankle. We'll take a look here on the replay and perhaps see if we can determine what's happened. There he is at non-striker's end. He's running through. Oh, no, he's just rolled his ankle.
Yeah.
Gee, that'll be a big out for Victoria if Pratham's unable to take the field. There's 1 ball remaining in this pair, so you'll probably just see that off. But if he can't take the field, Victoria, well, they'll have to play one. They won't have to play 1 player down, but they will have to play 1 bowler down.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. With the injury coming in the bangings, he won't bowl an over, so they'll be able to pick Victoria's 2 weakest bowlers to bowl the last 2 overs. They can take him off now and he can still come out of the field. You're not substituted if you're batting. But it does look like he's going to be right to bat on. But obviously, once he sits down and cools down a little bit, it'll be interesting to see how that ankle pulls up.
No doubt they'll whack some tape on there and get him out there.
I'm sure
I imagine this is going to be a no. Yeah, just leaves it alone. It finishes the partnership. 31 runs from it. An injury to the Victorian captain, which is going to concern the Victorians, but the scoreboard certainly won't. 63 on the board, halfway through this. The under-18 boys grand final between Victoria and Western Australia. Thanks for your company, folks. Right around Australia as we bring you the conclusion of the Junior Indoor Cricket National Championships. You've just joined us. I'm Cameron Walter, with me, Andrew Potts. How do you see that start for Victoria?
It's an excellent start. 63 runs in the grand final off the first 2 pairs. An absolute dream start. I guess the only downer is, yeah, Pratham Raj does look very sore. Just watching him walk off there. Yeah, quite a bit of discomfort still a couple of minutes after the incident happened. But, yeah, dream start for them with the bat. Obviously, we've got to keep on going here and build up as many runs as possible. And for WA, it's really important they can get a bit of momentum here. Just get a couple of wickets, get back in the game. I don't think they can really afford a 3rd pair of 30 plus. That's going to put a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And Ethan Davies and Josh Smith are on the court now for Victoria. Ethan Davies, his mother Sandy, is the manager of the side, a former Victorian ladies player.
Yeah, Sandy's been around for a long time playing for Cranbourne, and Ethan's starting to come through the ranks now as well. And Josh Smith, he's been playing up at Vic League level, which is our top grade in Victoria for North Geelong, so another handy player.
Ball is in the hand of Ethan Benson. Shane Rook signals play, and we're back underway. Short. Tried to pull it, probably didn't have the room to do that.
Yeah, a little bit slow on it as well. Just in for pace a bit.
Short again, outside off. Plain miss. And again, late on it. Getting through quickly is Ethan Benson.
He's going a bit here for pace these first couple of balls. It'll be interesting to see where he goes here on 3rd ball. I'd be going away from the body here and trying to get the ball through the keeper.
3rd ball, score has to change. Good contact this time from Davies. hits it into the fielder, but they get through for a single and safely see off third ball.
Yeah, he was a lot quicker on that one, so yeah, I think he had the right idea with the third ball with where he bowled it. Ethan was good enough there to get some bat on.
Left alone, dot ball.
Yeah, it's probably more of a tentative start here from Victoria than the first two pairs.
I think you've got to credit Benson with some of that. This is quite an aggressive over at pace.
Yeah, he's letting them rip, and like that first one short in at the body can make you uncomfortable.
Well, it's a wide. They're going to be run out anyway. Tricky as a fox. WA claim their first wicket. The old third ball wide does the job.
It does, yeah. Obviously, Ethan Davies didn't see that wide early enough, I guess, and just kept on going. And once you get reasonable service back to the receiver, that's always going to be out by a long way.
Yeah, WA aren't going to let them get away with that. We saw the run out in the first partnership. It was the same story. It's if you give them that opportunity, they are going to pounce. It's a great over from Ethan Benson. 1 for -4 from it. It's Tom Murray's turn now as Smith makes his way to the crease.
Well, he got 2 third ball opportunities there, so they're not scoring and you go a wicket, so you get the minus over.
Push down leg side to start. To wide.
It's not a great follow-up from the over before.
An opportunity there if the flick get hit, otherwise 2.
You'd see the difference this over with the slower pace. The Victorian batters a lot more comfortable facing this over than they were the first over, so
left alone, called through. They've stolen one there of Victoria.
yeah, one of the differences there that in our game to outdoor cricket, you wouldn't be able to run on that. Playing in the outdoor competitions, being indoor cricket, let the ball go into your leg and still run.
It's a great shot for 2. Into position early. Safe down up on the offside. Kind of wide to finish. It's a good over for Victoria to follow up from the wicket in the first. They take 11 off it and move the score 270 runs with some 6 overs remaining. They'll be feeling pretty happy with that, Victoria.
Yeah, you look in the 9th over. I mean, they've lost that wicket. They've had -4 over. Now they're still 7 off the pair through 2 overs of the pair. So they haven't let that snowball. They haven't panicked and lost more wickets in the next over. Now they're in a position where I guess this pair, if they can push forward to sort of around 20, then that's going to be looking pretty good for Victoria.
Will Hardman will bowl over number 11. Ethan Davies is on strike. Thrown right up there. And Davies happy to take 2 through square leg.
Yeah, a lot of people would have their eyes light up there, I think, and be trying to get a few more runs off that ball.
Oh, sent back and right call. It was a good early call and a good response. And the 3-line fielder showing them why. Oh, it's through to the back net for 5. A big shot from Smith. Didn't try to overhit it. Got into position and just punched it through that gap. Huge runs for the VICs.
Yeah, all of a sudden the pair's up to 14, 9 balls to go. Good to see the umpires picked up the shaking of the net. I think that got a little bit out of hand last night.
Talk us through that. What's the problem with shaking the net?
is they start jumping into it, and then they end up close onto the net for the next ball, and obviously the player safety issue is if one of the fielders runs into it and takes them out. So, and the general annoyance of it as well.
So the shaking the net bit's only because it's irritating, but the rest is where they end up after they do it, is
Pretty
what you're
much,
saying?
yeah. The shaking of the net irritates a lot of people, so especially the umpire.
But there's no rule against it. It's just a preference?
It's just a preference,
Yeah,
I think.
gotcha.
But,
Yeah, fair enough. Final ball of the over. Chopped up there for 2 by Davies. That's a great over for Victoria. 13 runs from it, 5 of them courtesy of that shot through to the back court from Josh Smith, and they've rebuilt well up to 20, and Victoria in a really strong position here on 83, still with 5 overs to come.
Well, you wouldn't even know they had that bad over in the 9th over now. Like, they're up to 20 for the pair. The last 2 overs have been, exceptional from Victoria. That's really been their only glitch in the innings, been that 9th over. It's been a bit of a boil over so far, actually, with WA finishing on top and not losing a game. Victoria look well on top in this one.
DJ playing man after midnight. Jack Buckingham has the ball.
I think most of these kids will be in bed before midnight, won't they, being a junior event?
Stop ball to start. Final over to the pair. Squeeze through square leg for 2 there.
It's going to be really important last 4 balls. I just don't think they can afford Victoria to get up to 30 again. They really don't need any extras.
What's happening here?
I think his bat's broken.
Don't see that often in indoor cricket.
No, you don't. It was really weird how that sort of happened. It's not like he was anything that looked like he would break his bat.
Well, I think he's got another. And we'll get back underway. It's a replay of that last ball. Just turn it away.
Strangely, his bat would break from something like that. Usually if you jam down on a fast driver or something, it might happen, but he's just...
Maybe it was broken earlier and he just noticed when he actually played a shot.
Yeah.
Back underway now. Oh, chance here for the fielder. Gee, that's sharp fielding there in the front court from Bloxham.
I'm surprised they've got that to the stumps, actually. So quick.
3 left in the partnership. Oh, it's a rip snorter of a delivery. Davies trying to chop it in the offside net for 2, but just over the top and middle stump.
Yeah, a bit of a loose shot there.
Hit with power, but the front court blocks it. It's another single. 1 to come in the pair. 87 on the board. Happy to see it off, although it was a chance at the top.
I think that Davies knew they were seeing that off at blocking the last ball. He was a long way down.
He was, but they'll take the dot. 24 for the pair, and 87 is on the board here in the under-18 boys grand final. Victoria up against Western Australia, live from Casey Stadium. Thanks again for your company, folks, and we do invite you to check out play.cricket.com.au and find your nearest indoor cricket centre for indoor cricket action available all year round. And if not that, then perhaps your local outdoor club and get ready for the upcoming summer of cricket. Just consider reflecting back on the last 2 games these teams have played against each other. The first game, Victoria batted first, posted 74.
Yeah.
WA in reply, 100 runs.
40 off the first pair as well. So.
Yeah. So Victoria in this game, 87 with 4 overs to come. Looking good. Still time to go, but looking good to post 100 plus. Totally different game. The other game, when WA batted first, they scored 127. Vic could only manage 93 in reply. So Vic's already looking good to post their highest runs against WA with Cooper Stick and Nick Tyndall at the crease. Here's Ethan Benson. Played through the leg side for 2.
They're looking good, but can only take one bad pair that can really ruin the batting end. So it's still important this pair makes some runs. I'm sure Jeff Latham knows all about that, so I don't think he'll be counting his chickens before they hatch here. There was a grand final umpire, Jeff Latham, where they were on a similar scorecard and his pair made -12 and they scored under 80, so I'm sure he's well aware of that.
I'm sure he'd also appreciate you reminding the viewers of...
I'm sure he will. I'm sure when Juddy watches this back later on, he'll appreciate the comments as well.
I had a chat to Jeff before the game. Just reminded me, seeing his nervousness, why I no longer coach. So good to see him out there doing it, taking one for the team.
It's a tough job, isn't it?
Oh,
and he was assistant for the open men's side as well. So
Yeah.
he's been down here 2 weeks.
It's a long
pacing around
fortnight.
nervously,
Yeah.
yeah.
But like many of the coaches, especially those that have got experience playing at the national level, really strategic thinker about the game, very deliberate plans based on what they're seeing as Benson continues. It's a dot to finish. Now Benson, he bowled a brilliant first over. They've seen him off well there. That sees him out. Finishes with figures of 1 for 4. It's a real strike bowler taken out of the game there by Victoria.
It is, and they've managed to get 8 runs off the over as well. He's put him on 3rd ball here, so really important they start converting some of these opportunities.
Third ball, of course, the score has to change. So this is an opportunity for them. It's going to be Nick Hendry, who wants 2 men on the offside of the left-hander. Gets in a position to play a little down-up sweep.
He's got 2 for that.
I think I saw 2, yeah, he's given 2.
Close to the corner, hard to see from back here.
And down up on the offside, catches the keeper's net. It's a single.
Yep, up to 98s. They're really close to that 100. And it looks like they're probably going to get a little bit past that, which is going to put all the pressure on Western Australia.
Another single to the VICs.
Yeah, this pair probably hasn't looked as fluent as some of the other pairs, but they're just getting down the other end, putting the ball into the roof and jogging through.
Straight back down the pitch, it'll be a dot ball. Through the leg side for 2. There's a fielder there, but he got it past him.
Yep, up to 101 now, so yeah, a couple of wickets here in the last 2 and a bit overs for WA is going to be pretty important.
It's edged onto the legs, be a dot to finish. Fairly even over, but 6 runs from it, Victoria. They've moved past 100, as you say, Potsy. Looking good. A big 2 overs coming up here, folks. It's going to be the difference, I think, between 120-ish and about 100.
Well, if it's 120-ish, yeah, that's going to make things really, really difficult for Western Australia. I know they haven't lost a game. You've got all the confidence from that. But you can't afford much to go wrong chasing 120. If they keep it down to 100, yeah, you can afford a couple of slip-ups. But, yeah, it's really important here that they can get a couple of wickets and hold this down to, yeah, around what they are now.
Well, they're averaging 118 for a team total. WA.
It's pretty interesting, actually. Yeah, 118. Are there any sort of standout innings that have caused that against some of the lower ranked side?
It's a blowout there, 162 to 54 against a really young ACT side. You just see a half chance there for WA. But fairly consistent scores otherwise, sort of 100 to 120 to 130. So they absolutely are a side capable of chasing this down. But the most runs they've scored, we see a Y there for Stick. The most runs they've scored against Victoria, 123 in the round games.
Yeah, and obviously the added pressure of a grand final here as well, where, I mean, you don't chase out a round game, you just move on, play the next one.
It's just kept off the back net by a diving receiver, Isaiah Denton. I'm sorry, it was 127 he scored in the round games.
Yeah, bang first.
Left alone, it's a leg side, well watched there by Stick. And one ball remains in the penultimate over.
Yeah, I think they've just bought too many extras as well. They've just been a little bit off with their lines today, Western Australia.
It's full on the legs and dealt with accordingly. Down up 2 to finish the over. They take 10 from it. A good one from Victoria as they build towards this last over. The final partnership is on 24. 6 balls remain in the Victorian innings. 111 on the board. You see this diving effort there from Denton. Save 4.
I'll just add up, they've bowled 12 extras already, which is, in a grand final at this level, under 18s, national level, it's
another batter.
Too many.
It's another batter. That's a ninth batter.
Way too many extras to bowl. And yeah, if they don't go over the line in this one, I think that's something I'll really look back on, was that they just didn't hit their spots with the ball.
Jack Buckingham to bowl the final over. 111 on the board for Victoria. Great shot from Cooper Stick. Two runs.
Go up to 113, yeah. I mean, it does look like it's going to get to around 120.
It's flat, there's a chance here. Needed the hit and he got it. Stick isn't happy with the call, but you called it to the naked eye, and I agree, a direct hit. He would have been short of his ground. And a much needed wicket there for WA. Vic were on the way to 120 easily. And look here on the replay. The shot is flat, straight into the hand, and a direct hit. Bang, he's out by a metre.
When those sort of plays happen, he picks it up cleanly like that. There's just no way he's going to make it. You know that's out.
4 balls remain. Another 2 for Stick. Responds well to the disappointment of the run out. Gets them back to 110.
Yeah, so 3 balls to go here. It'll be interesting to see which way this over ends up. And they get another wicket and push them under 110.
Sent back, rightly so. Tyndall, full face. Just didn't place it where he wanted to. 2 balls remain. And it'll be 3rd ball to finish the innings.
Finish with a 3rd ball. This could be a momentum shifting ball this one if they can get a wicket.
Through the leg side, and they grab 2 to finish. And Victoria have posted 112 batting first in the under-18 boys grand final here at the Junior Indoor Cricket National Championships, live from Casey Stadium. Thanks so much for your company, folks. It's the conclusion to what has been an action-packed fortnight. The Opens and the Juniors, some of the best indoor cricket you'll see, and it's great to be back. In Victoria, I think they've given themselves every opportunity to win this game with that amazing total of 112 as we look at some of the highlights from the innings. I say, however, Potsy, I think WA, they'll believe they can chase this.
Oh, they'll definitely believe they can chase it. They haven't lost a game all tournament. They've made some really good scores with the bat. And equally, Victoria, I think they'll believe that if they can just get a couple of plays, then it's going to be a really tough score to chase. I mean, chasing 112, you probably can't afford to lose any more than sort of 4 wickets. So they can't afford to have a pair where it just snowballs, they make 0 or single figures. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting chase. It'll be interesting to see how WA come out, whether they come out aggressively. Usually the WA way of playing indoor cricket has been to play aggressive indoor cricket. If the ball gets over pitch, they'll hit to the back half. But yeah, we'll sort of see what happens here.
Well, some players to watch in this, the second innings for the bat with Western Australia. Well, they've got a few big run scorers. Ethan Benson Cruz Harbour-Connell, they're up there with the runs, 173 and 162 respectively. Angus blocks them too, 168. Tom Murray, Isaiah Denton, Will Hardman, all of these, Jack Buckingham, they're all over 100, so all averaging pretty well. With the ball for Victoria, well, the strike bowler, Tivi Salwadara, he's got 11 wickets. Still Danal Gamage, who's not featuring in this game, he's a big out. Well, he's their leading wicket taker, so they'll look to Salwadara, and a pretty even spread from the other bowlers, so it will need to be a nice, even, all-round performance with the ball from Victoria. WA have got lots and lots of firepower here. I agree with you, it'll be interesting to see how they go about building this run chase, but an exciting finish we're going to have for you here in the under-18s grand final as Western Australia need to chase down Victoria's 112. I'm Cameron Walter alongside Andrew Potts, and it's the conclusion to the Junior Indoor Cricket National Championships. We had a stunning, a thrilling game in the under-18 girls grand final. If you didn't happen to catch that live, I highly recommend you go back and watch that for a last ball thriller. Are we going to see the same thing here, Potsy?
Well, let's hope that's a good chase and a really good game to finish off what's been a great fortnight of indoor cricket. Obviously, we haven't had national title since 2019, and it's great to be back. And yeah, to finish off with a really tight one would be amazing.
I was talking to one of the WA parents earlier before the game. He mentioned that for a lot of these guys, given the COVID gap, the last time they played was in the under-14s grand final in a heartbreaking loss to Queensland. Here they are in a final some 3 years later, looking for a different outcome. Yeah. Zach Gretsch has the ball, Ethan Benson and Cruz Harbour-Connell at the crease. We're back underway. Starts with a 2. It's Harbour-Connell.
Well, with so many years off as well, players have skipped age divisions, and yeah, it's hard to get a read coming into the tournament of what teams we're going to be like, because we haven't seen a lot of these players, or any of these players, since 2019. Some of them might have missed that tournament as well, so we wouldn't have seen them since 2018. Like, it's been really hard to judge coming in.
It's driven. Oh, it's a misfield, but a great piece of work from Tyndall at the back. Keeps it to 1.
Yeah, it's really good on the back net there. That could easily get through and get 5 and get WA right away.
We'll comment in a minute on the Victorian field setup. Here's Gretsch. Chance at the top, throws wide. This has worked for them in the last couple of games, Victoria. They've got a 2-man onside field, sort of a traditional leg side position, a deep, almost on the 3-line, 2-up position, and both 3-line fielders are quite deep and straight for that matter. So on the offside, only one fielder, and again probably a classical cover position.
Yeah.
This is the sort of field you see to a side that likes to play straight. That's true of WA.
Yeah, definitely.
There it is. And they have had some success with it. Be interesting to see if it'll bode them well in the grand final. 8 runs from the first over. WA will be happy with that.
It's just the way WA like to play their indoor cricket. I mean, and when you've had open sides that have played that way for such a long period of time and been successful with it, won Open men's championships back on probably over 10 years now, but they have players like Ty Hopes who would play at the back half of the court, and those sort of guys. So these guys have pretty come through, seen them play at Super League level, and that's what they've learnt off. And it's not necessarily the wrong thing to do. There's always multiple ways of building a score, and every state's a little bit different.
Tivi Salwadara.
He's one of their leading wicket takers.
He is. He's bowling the second over. Touch around the corner for 2. Should also mention, it's good to see the Victorian captain, Pratham Raj, out there on the court. He is...
he's limping around a bit though,
looking
isn't he?
a bit ginger. So it'll be interesting to see if he's able to get through the crease and bowl, and whether he's agile enough in the field. And here's an example where this straight field doesn't really work. The ball's coming off pace at the legs.
Yeah.
Batter's got the opportunity to tuck it around that corner. It's runs for days.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's push through that gap for 2.
And the deep 3-line fielder as well. You don't get the chance for that run out. Like happened in the first over as well. He picked up Mark cleanly, hit the stumps, but the batter's miles in. They're nowhere near getting run out.
Yeah, again, short at the hip. The straight field doesn't work.
No.
It might work if WA at this point needed to hit the back net all the time. I understand that, but at this stage of the game, this is where I'd like to see the Victorian tactic change to respond to the bowler.
It's also interesting they've started with 2 spinners as well. It's very rare that you see that, especially with how the balls have been playing over the couple of weeks, but they've been going really soft. The quicker bowlers like to take advantage of the hard ball where it's swinging. They haven't really given them the opportunity.
And that finishes a rock-solid textbook indoor cricket over Victoria. 6 twos off the bat. You don't see that often, but when you do see it, it's a sign of 2 bats that are in form and looking comfortable. And that's just what WA need at the early stages of this run chase here in the under-18 boys grand final.
Yeah, I mean, it's an excellent start for Western Australia. I mean, you're always confident because you haven't lost a game, but you see a team put up 112 and you walk off, and maybe there's a couple of doubts creeping into the back of some of their heads. But to get a start like that where you've hit 20, I mean, it's put them on their way now. The confidence is obviously back up. The bench is up, they're standing up, and they look confident. Victoria need to do something here and get a wicket.
Stick will be the bowler. Benson's on strike. We're back underway. It's driven straight through the gap. See, this is the other point I'd make about the straight field. WA aren't a side that are going to change their game in the face of that field. They're still going to play those shots.
That's not the way they play their indoor cricket, and that's the way WA sides play. That's a good shot.
Move now to 25. Midway through the 3rd over.
Yeah, they just can't afford to let this pair get away from getting the 40s. That's really going to change the game. And again, they're just easy, up out of the roof, easy single.
In a position of flick. If it had been online, it would have been out.
Yeah, half chance there. It's looking like they're going to have to take one of these half chances, maybe in the back half of this pair, to keep them down.
A chance at the top, should be out, and it is. There it is. An opportunity presented to the coach at the back. You didn't see him on screen.
Jeff Latham is excited.
He is pumped with that. The good sign there for Victoria is they haven't had that many opportunities. It's the first real, genuine, full chance they've seen, and they made no mistake. They are up and ready. Great work from Gretsch there in the front court, and Tyndall made no mistake. The first wicket falls.
Yeah, no panic there. Easy throw to the receiver, comfortable run out.
A good response to hit the last ball of the over. 4-2 from Benson, so still 5 runs from it. Despite the wicket, it's a positive one for WA, and they move to 25 with an over to come in the opening partnership.
Yeah, it's still got 5 off the over. Really courtesy of that shot to the back net.
Packed stands here at Casey Stadium. It's the final game of the tournament unfolds before them. Should take this opportunity to thank all of the team here at Casey Stadium for their work throughout the fortnight and in the lead up to the event. It's a wonderful, world-class facility here in the city of Casey, and the team have been fantastic. And on Cricket Australia's behalf, I'd like to pass on our thanks and congratulations to them, our wonderful hosts, and we'll be back here for the Masters and indeed the Indoor Cricket World Cup in October.
We will be. There's a lot of cricket coming to Casey over the next few months.
Ethan Davies will bowl the last over to the pair. Driven, it's through, and it's 4. Almost negating that earlier run out. It's the WA brand of cricket. Big 4 late in this pair.
Is they've got through Prath and Raj there as well. Yeah, he does look like he's struggling with that injury.
Yeah, there must be a temptation on the part of Victoria to not field the captain. They're obviously avoiding the risk of giving WA the option to pick some bowlers. Yeah. But they, if he can't move in the field, he's a liability.
Exactly.
Great shot for 3. It's flat, but it's safe.
There's nowhere to hide. So, yeah, if you're fielding someone who is carrying an injury, can't get to balls, and is going to concede runs, it'd be interesting to see how he goes bowling with that injury as well.
Chance. Sent back. Of course, an option available to them is to get his 2 overs done as quick as they can and then substitute him.
Yeah, get him out of the game.
That is, that does represent a loss with their leader not out on the court.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Another wonderful cricket shot, this time from Harbour Connell. 4 runs takes them to 38 with a ball to play.
Yeah, it's a massive start now for WA. Sell the nerves of the rest of the bats coming in. He just can't jump and get up.
Well, there's a single to finish, 39 runs for the opening partnership for Western Australia. That's exactly what they need and more in pursuit of Victoria's 112. And they bump fists as they head off. But well done to those two. They've done all they can for their side. 12 overs remain now in the grand final. It's going to be a thrilling finish as we look at some of the highlights. I talked about how this straight field has worked for Victoria to date. One thing we should probably talk about and note is that the offside field, there's only 2 fielders there effectively, and both of them very straight. So if the ball is coming on that offside, you've opened up basically this entire side net on the offside, and there's runs for days. So if that's the field they're going to persist with, the bowler really needs to get that ball right in there at the hip.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just not doing that. I think there's another injury concern here for Victoria as well. Looks like Ethan Davies with the trainer out there. I'm not sure what's happened to him. Lower leg injury possibly.
Certainly been a long week of cricket.
Yeah, it has been, and this is the time of the week where we start getting those injuries, getting the substitute players, and
you can see he's off your screen. Davies is actually limping a fair bit, trying to run through. But Victoria, this would be their 13th game.
10 round games, yeah, played both games. Yeah, 13th game. 13th game. It's a lot of indoor cricket to play. Doesn't matter how young you are, you're still going to pick up some niggles through that.
Angus Bloxham and Will Hardman at the crease for Western Australia after that great start in the first pair. Josh Smith has the ball. And the run chase continues. Oh, what a rock-solid start for Smith. How about that, Potsy?
Well, they'll bring the nerves back, I think, to the WA camp. It's never ideal getting bowled first ball of your innings and puts them right on the back foot. Yeah, they've got off to a great start there with 39 in the first pair, but neg 5, you don't need that to become neg 10 straight away either. So
look, the thing about that ball too, I mean, it was almost over pitched. You could argue it was Yorker length, but it was just that shape back into the bat.
Yeah, it's just done him.
Yep. Enough width that time.
Better shot.
Yep, takes 2. You can see Victoria, field unchanged. All straight, all off the net. I'll take 2.
Yep, just got to rebuild from that first wicket, so haven't let that snowball into back-to-back wickets, which is what Victoria would have been hoping for.
Yeah, doesn't look too phased by that first dismissal, Bloxham.
No, he's they've certainly recovered from that, back up into the positives.
I wouldn't be that fussed either if I had 168 to my name for the tournament. Straight to the front court fielder there, it'll be a dot.
No, you probably wouldn't be. If you're making runs for fun, you're probably not going to be too worried about going out once.
Second consecutive dot to finish the over. It's a good over from Josh Smith. 1 run from it. It does, of course, mean that the first ball of the next over will be third ball and the score has to change.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty important ball. Could really shape the pair, this ball. Like if WA can get it away, get to 3, get to 4, but if they lose a wicket, back to -4, all of a sudden the pressure's right back on them.
It's going to be Alex Russell to bowl the over. You see, a common tactic on third ball is to put it full and wide. Of course, we've got the left-hander on strike. So it's 2 men on the legs of the left-hander. It is full, it is wide, and he gets it through the vacant point region for 2. I think he's expecting that. Blocks him.
Yeah, it was a good shot as well. It's important just at least get something on third ball. That had to be close.
Yeah. Just
that little shape in.
Exactly, undid him. He's wrong-footed in the end.
Or,
that'll be 2, won't it? Surely that's 2. Let's put it in as 1.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that. I think that is 2.
It's off the bat.
It's off the bat.
Uncontrolled by the fielders.
That's controlled by the fielders.
Yeah, it's 2 runs.
No, I do think that's 2 runs.
In the book as 1, however. We move on. Chance at the top, the throw. Wow, direct hit.
I think what was interesting is we were probably the A2 people at the centre who looked to have picked up on that. So
we're sharp, Potsy.
We are.
Got to be on the game.
And we've got the score sheet right in front of us as well. Makes it a lot easier.
Yes. Be a dot left alone by everyone except the receiver. And 1 ball to come. Interesting little tussle in the early stages of this batting partnership. Oh, that's another great ball from Russell. That's a rock solid over. He's beaten him 3 times. Well, twice, and one came back for a dot as well. So the next over again will start on third ball.
It's a really good 2 overs from Victoria. WA have weathered the storm a little bit though. They've got 6 runs. A lot of pairs on those sort of 2 overs where they've bowled so well could be below 0. And they're still on 45, so they're still looking good to be able to get halfway at the halfway mark. So, yeah, no need to panic yet for WA. They've weathered 2 good overs. Looks like they might go with Josh Smith again here. No, they're going to go with Josh Smith again.
It's a big call. No, it's Ethan. Yeah, it is Josh Smith. He's put Ethan Davies in the book. I don't know why he's done that. Hope he notices that. Yeah.
He'll end up fixing that up.
Third ball. Great shot. Yeah, he's fixed it.
We saw this in the under-16s game where WA did this 3 times, bowled the same bowler.
Yeah. Didn't work either time, did it?
No, even the spinner that we thought would work, it just didn't work.
And Smith so far, not the same over he bowled the first time.
No, if you look at his first over, his first ball was really good. The next 3, they go away pretty comfortably, and then 2 good balls to finish. I'm not sure that would have prompted me to give him a second over this pair.
Smashed that for 2. Little fist bump for Bloxham. Building nicely into this innings, Western Australia.
Yeah, and once you've had a sider of a bowler, I just think that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. It's good movement from the front court field. It's a dot. Yeah, I'd much rather see, especially after an over like the 5th, Josh Smith bowling the first over the next pair.
Yeah.
They haven't seen him. Well sure, they've watched him bowl, but they haven't faced him.
Yeah. And try to start that pair off well again.
Over pitching. And of course, what it means, and I think we've seen it on at least 2 of these deliveries where Smith's over pitched, he's got to bowl 2 overs within 3.
Yeah.
So that's really hard to do in their 13th game of the tournament.
Exactly.
Doesn't have quite as long a break.
No.
So it's high risk, high reward, this tactic. Final ball of the over. 2 to finish, so yet again the strategy doesn't work. Take note.
Wasn't the reward Victoria were hoping for. He's gone for 9 runs off the over. I just think he could have been better served. Another over.
Yeah, and look, I just say to all the coaches and captains out there, we've Had multiple examples of it today.
Yeah.
It's just not the right strategy.
I see multiple examples of it most weeks at Super League level where I'm umpiring, and it never works. Even when they've got a couple of 2 or 3 wickets, and Josh Smith's only got 1 wicket in that first over. They seem to do better. They seem to figure out a plan.
Yeah, I know from captaining Super League, I'd often try and target the weakest pair I could to make myself look good, and my first over would usually be okay, but the second over traditionally go for about 30.
They figured out your donkey drops by the second over.
Yeah, that's it, mate, easily. Nick Tyndall's going to bowl the 8th over of the innings. The game and the title in the balance. Blocks him, the left-handers on strike. In at the legs, good piece of fielding, will keep it to 1. And, well, they didn't even run. It's a dot.
No, seen back.
Yeah.
Pretty comfortable running that as well.
Yeah. My reflex watching the ball was that they had, but fair enough. Called it no. Again in the legs. Little edge on that, I think. Might have saved him.
Another third ball chance here for Victoria.
Desperate to cash in here. Through the offside for 2. Not a bad over so far from Tyndall. He bowled those 2 dots. Enough width there for Bloxham to get it away. 3 opportunities remain.
No, they are halfway now as well, Western Australia, to the score. Almost at the halfway point. Very tight game.
Chance at the top, the flick. It's a good one. Just had to hit.
That's out of the hits.
Oh, yeah. Good piece of fielding.
It is a good piece of fielding. Just needed to hit, and yeah, they're going to have to take some of those chances.
Back live. Off the legs for 2. He's moved the score to 60. 1 ball remaining. Chance. Oh, again, had to hit. It'll be 2 to finish, however. 23 for the partnership, and the total moves to 62. Western Australia will need 51 runs from the last 8 overs of the match to win the national title. Ladies and gentlemen, we're live from Casey Stadium as we look at some of the highlights from this partnership. It is well and truly game on here. Anyone's game. The national title on the line. We thank you for your company. I'm Cameron Walter with Andrew Potts. If you were a betting man, Pottsy, where would your money be right now?
Over betting man sometimes. Well, I think Western Australia will probably win. They finished on top, and they've settled their nerves a bit. They are 1 run behind where Victoria were at this point, but Victoria's last 2 pairs weren't as good as their first 2 pairs. Yeah, I'd like to be in Western Australia's shoes with how they've gone throughout the tournament, but yeah, equally, if Victoria can get a couple of wickets here, that could really change very quickly.
Well, I think that's it. All it's going to take is 1 big over. The entire course of this match will change, whether that's big runs or a couple of wickets.
A 15-plus over or a couple of wickets.
Jack Buckingham, Isaiah Denton at the crease of WA. Here's Alex Russell. Starts well. It's a dot. An unchanged, straight, Victorian-style field, I'm going to call it. Straight. Chance.
Oh, that's very close if that hits.
And an example of the effectiveness of this sort of a field if they are playing that straight line, as he is.
Let's have a look.
Oh, that's out if it hit.
Just haven't taken any of those chances yet.
Yorker length, outside off stump. Denton can't get it away.
Pretty good start this over for Victoria. 1 run off the first 3 balls of the pair.
Oh.
And again.
That one a little bit straighter, same length, same result, just missing the stumps. It'll be 3rd ball though.
We're in for an interesting pair here, I think.
Big opportunity now for Victoria.
This is massive.
Oh, he bowls a ball way above the head.
He's not where you want to bowl the 3rd ball, I don't think.
No. 1 to come now.
I can still see Ross Gregory. I don't think he was too impressed with that ball, so being the Open Men's coach, he's not happy with it.
It'll be 2 to finish. 5 runs from the over. It was interesting to see that to Denton, the field changed.
Yeah.
Much more traditional, even though they still had 2 on the legs. So
it must be something in that book of notes that Jeff Latham's got over there on that player. So
yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see if that was plan specific for that bowler or if that's what they're going to persist with for Jose Denton.
That no ball too high on the third ball's probably really hurt the momentum a little bit from Victoria. They built good momentum early in that over, and then that sort of took the wind out of the sails a bit.
There's Ethan Davies, we mentioned earlier, carrying a little bit of an injury. If he can get through the crease, and you can see that field, they do have 2 on the legs, more traditional. And yeah, that's why I think they probably feel like Denton isn't going to play through the ball the same way that many of the others are. And to Buckingham, they go back to this straight field approach. So horses for courses from Victoria. Oh, full, straight to the fielder. Probably could have done anything with that, Buckingham.
Yeah, full toss. You've really got to get that into the net somewhere. Whether you get it to the back or into one of the side ones, a dot ball's not a good result from that sort of a ball.
Again, straight. It'll be third ball, and there it is. He had a full toss. It's a dot, and it's led to this pressure moment
exactly, yeah. Now, big chance here, Victoria. Hopefully they can bowl a better ball than they did the last third ball.
It's up. Oh, out of the reach of a jumping Tivi Salwathera.
Geez, that just looked like it was going to be out off the bat. Just see what's happening. Is that just sprung off the net a little bit more than what he thought? Yeah.
Yep. Zinged out from the top of the net there. Driven straight to the fielder. It'll be a dot. Tentative cricket here from Western Australia. 1 to come.
It's been a good start to the pair for Victoria. Only 8 runs. Haven't got a wicket, but WA just not scoring.
And inside the legs there, it'll be a dot to finish. A great over from Ethan Davies. No wicket, but just 3 runs from it. And again, for the 3rd time, this partnership will be on third ball.
Yeah, and you've got to think, eventually Victoria are going to convert one of these third balls. The weighted numbers always means that eventually he's going to get a wicket on third ball. You're going to bowl a good enough ball where the batter doesn't play a good enough shot, and you're going to get a run out the top end.
Well, I think third ball situations aside, Potsy, we've gone for 8 runs, Victoria, off the first 2 overs. They go for another 8 runs, even without taking a wicket. It's really their advantage.
Yeah, they'll be on top.
That's right.
They'll be favourites going into the last pair if they only go for 8 runs.
Yeah, so the bowling, even though they haven't cashed in like that chance that went up into the net, the bowling is super tight, creating plenty of pressure here. It's going to need to be 2 solid overs from Western Australia. It's third ball, Cooper sticked, the keeper has the ball. Here we go. And well played from Buckingham, helps himself to 2.
We haven't seen Pratham Raj bowl yet?
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't. He's the one carrying the injury.
He's looking a little bit more agile as the game goes on. So maybe a bit of warmth back in that ankle.
So are we going to see him bowl 2 in the last pair, or will we see him bowl the next over? That'll be pretty interesting.
Full and wide inside the line, it's a dot.
Very tentative, this pair.
It's the 8th dot to this pair. That one finds the edge. Would have been a leg side, should have left it alone. Again, for the 4th time, third ball.
Third ball again. Eventually something's going to happen on one of these third balls eventually.
It'd be time for a man catch, surely.
It's not the Victoria way, mate. You think you've an ACT play?
It'd be man catting. He didn't leave. Driven, it should be out. Yes, it is. Tyndall makes no mistake. I thought he had more time than he did. To his credit, Denton gave it everything he had to try and make good his ground, but Tyndall, too good, took his time, flicked the ball in the stumps, and wow, this game has swung the way Victoria. Check this out on the replay. out by a long way in the end. Well done to
And
Nick
when you're
Tyndall.
not scoring and then you lose a wicket, jeez, it makes it hard. I mean, they hit 10 runs off the bat, just lost that wickets it down to 5. Hasn't been a very good pair so far. They need to turn this around.
2 to come.
A much better shot.
Comfortable 2 for Buckingham. 7 balls remain in the pair.
They need to be chasing under 30 on this last pair, I reckon. So they probably need to get to 82 as a minimum.
Into the fielder. Little bit of a fumble, but keeps it to a dot. The great over again for Victoria. 1 for -1 from it. The premiership quarter is going the way of Victoria at the moment. Check out this replay. Again, hit straight back to Tyndall. He had plenty of stumps to look at. A little 2-hand flick affects the wicket, and a crucial wicket at that for Victoria. Who are we going to see to bowl this final over? It's not going to be the Victorian captain. It's going to be Zach Gretsch, which means we'll see the skipper twice in the last pair.
Either that or he's not bowling.
He may not be bowling.
They're bowling 2 replacements. So that'd be a bit strange because he has laid it a little bit in the field.
Yeah, it's a big call if he's not bowling.
Unless they're leaving him out there for leadership.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what the plan is.
That's for Victoria to know and us to find out, I guess.
Yeah, we can't really get much of a read on Jeff Latham over there. We don't know what he's doing.
It's actually going to be Nick Tyndall for the 12th. And Buckingham starts with an authoritative 2. They're looking to push past 80. Give the pair
I think so,
round
yeah, I
30.
think that's important. So Victoria just need to avoid the extras here as well. Like, no extra balls, and they should be able to keep them below 80. Snuck that one in, has he?
He's absolutely snuck that one in. It's very tight. Shane Rook's got a good view of it from there on the stand. Better angle than we do from where we're sitting. On the legs, a chance. Oi! Needed a direct hit, but it's 2 runs to WA. Oh, bat's out of frame, but out if it hit for mine.
Yeah, I think
Buckingham helps himself to 2.
We're up to 75. Real important couple of balls here. And they can't afford to lose a wicket. They lose a wicket, you think maybe it's a bridge too far.
Beaten outside off, no feet there from Denton. And another dot ball. The 12th that this pair have faced. Half the partnership in dots.
Yeah.
Just squeezes something out for 2 to finish. They get to 15 for the partnership and 77 for the total. It's going to be quite an interesting finish, but big runs needed from the final pair for Western Australia. It'll be 36 that they need. Ladies and gentlemen, as we look at some highlights from that partnership, thanks so much for your company. As the Junior Indoor Cricket National Championships come to their conclusion, I'm Cameron Walter, and with me, Andrew Potts. It's Victoria up against Western Australia in the under-18 boys grand final live from Casey Stadium. Victoria batting first, posted 112. And in that premiership quarter, Victoria have taken control of the run chase. And it'll need to be some sort of an effort from the undefeated Western Australia in these final 4 overs to keep this game alive. But for Western Australia, it's Tom Murray and Nick Hendry. Tom Murray, 102 runs so far in this tournament, and Nick Hendry, 88. So between them, averaging about 25.
2 of their weaker bats, looking at that.
It's going to need to be the innings of their lives.
It is going to need to be. They can't afford to lose it early. It's going to still be in this with 2 overs to go.
So a straight field again. The captain for Victoria is bowling. He starts.
Good shot to start.
Yeah, there's 2. 2 balls certainly wins the game, so it's certainly not panic stations. Victoria have been bowling tight. And it's one of the risks of the field that they've set. If they don't get the ball right, if they're short outside off stump like this, it's runs all day.
It's a confident start by both of these 2 as well.
better into the legs, perfect for this field. Flat shot, safe in the end for Tom Murray.
Really confident start, yeah. 30-year win now. Just got to keep doing what they're doing and put the pressure back on Victoria.
That's a good ball. That's the area the skipper needs to be in. 2 to come in the over. Little flick from Gretsch. There's been so many opportunities for Victoria where a direct hit would have been a wicket. WA riding their luck. 1 ball remains in the over.
Sure are, but this is a really confident start from WA. 8 runs off the first 5 balls. It's what they would have been looking for out of these two. And again.
Yeah, short and wide outside off stump with a 2-man leg side field in the front court. That's not going to do the job. So 10 runs for Western Australia off the first over. They've got 18 balls left and 26 runs to get.
They've had a look at Pratham Raj now as well, and they're going to get another look at. I'm not sure they'll be fearful of what he's bowling, so maybe they'll bank that over as another 8 or 10 runs, and what can they do off the other 2 overs? So who's got overs left? I think Zach Gretsch still going over?
Yeah.
Zach Gretsch is going to bowl now. He bowls spin.
Yeah, Tivi Salwadara again. He hasn't bowled 2 yet.
Yeah, and Pratham Raj. Because you're bowling spin as well, it's really important you hit your line and length. Anything you're just off on can easily be hit for 2. So with the game being such a pressure game now, it's going to be interesting to see how Zach goes in this over.
It's anyone's game still, ladies and gentlemen. Thrilling indoor cricket. 3 overs remain in the match. Here's Gretsch.
That's no good start.
No, it's drag it down. And again with this field setting.
That's pressure with the ball in these sort of situations. You might be able to get away with that if you're a bit quicker, but bowling spin, bowling that's just
Runs
anyone's
all day.
going to hit that for 2.
Maybe not me. But there's another example.
I think even you, Cameron, I think we've got to the net for 2. It's just tightened up here as well.
They're giving themselves every opportunity, Western Australia. There's a bit of flight. Finds the edge, a chance. A diving effort. It is from Nick Hendry.
So they've had 2 off every ball except for the 4th ball of the first over of this pair. So they've come out really confident, which probably wasn't what I was expecting.
Good movement there in the front court. And again, you have to question if they're hitting 2s, how effective is this straight field? They don't need to hit the back net yet. Yeah.
Not effective at all.
Yeah. Light it up into the field at this time. The throw's wild, but it is a dot.
It's a much better ball there by Zach Gretsch.
It'll be 3rd ball to finish the over.
Yeah, this is pretty big.
Huge moment in the final. It's up, it's through. He hits it for 3. A big shot for Nick Hendry. They take 9 from the second over. The partnership moves to 19. Is that 17 they need now from the final 2 overs?
It is. So who do we bowl here? We go with, so we've got Pratham Raj.
And Tivi Salwadara.
I think you go with Tivi this over. He's their leading wicket taker on the court.
That's what they are going to do, Potsy.
If you leave him 5 or 6 runs to defend, they could just do a couple out.
Yeah, look, I'm going to say here Victoria need at least 1 wicket. It's box seat at the moment, WA, as far as I'm concerned. They're looking too comfortable. They had that moment on 3rd ball. They've seen it away comfortably. But this is a huge over.
I think this is the over, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
He needs to probably give Pratham Raj 10 plus to bowl with, based on what I saw in his first over.
Here he is. Great area. Straight to Gretsch. The throw is wild again. They don't run.
It's a couple of bad throws in the last few balls as well. The nerves probably starting to get to Victoria in the field.
Yeah, the pressure is building, folks.
Just got to take your time and get the ball at the stumps.
It's through the field, a flick. It's 2 runs. The score continues to tick over for Western Australia. This exciting run chase unfolding live from Casey Stadium. Who will withstand the pressure? Oh, it's a great shot. Into the back court for three. It's flat through the gap. They move past at 100 and they're 12 runs away from victory. Western Australia. Victoria need a wicket. And they bowl a wide.
No good ball.
10 runs away now, Western Australia. You can feel the people at home watching in the West on the edge of their seats. Said they'd have to play the innings of their lives. They're doing it so far. It's a better ball. Jam it out for a single.
Is it too early a call for a super over here, do you think? Or
Don't do that to me,
don't do that to you?
9 runs away, 7 balls remaining. Oh, what a moment! The drive, it's up in the air, the fielder was right there. It's a tough chance and he grabbed it, a huge wicket for Victoria. Boy, they needed that. Check it out on the replay. It's just upish, straight to him, and a really well-judged catch there it was.
Well struck, got
Josh
his hands
Smith.
in the right spot, took the catch. Fantastic.
So they'll need 14
to
runs
win.
from the final over.
13 for a tie, so maybe we are starting to get towards that super over stage.
Well, it means, ladies and gentlemen, that 2 balls not enough. We're going to have to see at least one shot come to the back court.
It's still, you play the twos here for the first half of the over. You keep yourself in the game.
Unless it's there to hit, you've got
Unless
to
it's
go
there
at
here.
it.
If you have full toss, you send it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the final over of the grand final in the under-18 boys division. The final over for the tournament. The game, the national title. It's anybody's at this point. A thrilling finish. Indoor cricket at its best. The Victorian captain has the ball, and here we go. Driven, straight to the fielder. Direct hit, but it is a dot.
He's got that right. That's definitely in, I think. So,
it's a much better area there from Pratham.
Tense times now. Just that fumble. Gets that cleanly, that's out.
Yeah, 5 to come, 13 to win for Western Australia. Oh, it's inside the line, fair ball. Watched very closely by umpire Rook. He's still in position. Look at him, he was having a really close look at that.
Replay. We're not at a good angle here, so it's very hard for us to tell.
4 balls remain in the match. Advantage Victoria now. You can just see Jeff Latham up here at the back. He's asked the front court to come back onto the line now, knowing that Western Australia need to send someone to the back court. Here we go. Straight back to the bowler, and it's a dot. Huge advantage for Victoria now. It's 3rd ball. 3 balls remain. WA need a big shot here. They're still 13 runs away from victory.
They've got one hand on the shield here, Victoria. 3 balls to go.
Victoria really trying to get their field right. They're very straight there in the front court, all on the 3 line. All of the other fielders are on the back of the net. Here's the Vic captain. Oh, it's 7 runs! A huge shot from Tom Murray. Talk about soaking up the pressure.
It's a serious shot, that.
On 3rd ball with 3 balls remaining. Wow.
To the back. That is a serious cricket shot, that.
5 runs will tie it. 6 runs will win it.
It's giving each side a chance.
2 balls remain.
And Victoria have to go back to a more traditional field now.
Well, a traditional straight field.
Victorian field.
Oh, he's bowled him! The skipper, he jumps into the net. He's just won the game for his side and they are absolutely pumped. Look at that, the second last ball of the game. This game has had more twists and turns than a Canberra suburb. And my word, what a moment that is. He's injured. He saved himself for the last.
Did the camera get a view of Jeff Latham there, throw his record out of the ground in excitement?
Look at how pumped they are. There's still one to come in the game, folks. But you would think it's a mathematical impossibility at this point, so...
Well, you'd have to bowl an extra
I understand you're probably
keep
going to
them
win
in
the game, but
but
you
yeah,
need
I
to
would
ask the
say,
players not to go
I'm not
jumping
sure
on the
what
nets, okay?
umpire Rook's having a chat with about here, but...
maybe telling him not to jump into the net.
No, it's okay when they're on the court. It's just okay when they're off the court. We're funny people, umpires. We have our little things that we like and don't like. A bit like you in that changing direction stuff.
Yeah, well, the difference is I'm right and you're wrong. It's the last ball of the grand final. Victoria have played some sort of a match here, folks. One to come. And it'll be a single to finish, and Victoria are your under-18 boys national champions. It's a devastating finish for Western Australia, but Victoria, you can't take anything away from them. They've put on a great score in the final, and they've played the best innings of their life with the ball and in the field to restrict Western Australia to 103, I think it was in the end, to take out the title by 9 runs. Andrew Potts, how did you see that?
Well, they've come good back out of the week, Victoria. I think a bit slow starting. They ain't finished third, but the way they've played their cricket over the last couple of days has been really good. Really good performance preliminary final. And then again today, yeah, fantastic effort with the bat. They put the pressure on by getting those runs. WA in the first pair getting 39. You would have thought undefeated. Maybe they can keep that momentum going. And maybe in a round game they do continue on from that 39 and get 130, 140 and win the game pretty easy. When everything's on the table, you've got to play to win the national championship. That pressure starts to build. A couple of wickets started to fall. They made a couple of mistakes with the bat. And even there with a couple of overs to go, we thought they were probably going to get home. But a couple of wickets there for Victoria, and there were a lot of momentum shifts as well. That 7 was fantastic, and then the wicket straight after. So fantastic advertisement for the sport. Final game of the national championships. Couldn't ask for a better game.
Yeah, a thrilling finish, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you did enjoy it. You can stick around on the stream to see the medal and shield presentation. But until then, thanks so much, Andrew Potts, for your company.
Appreciate it. It's fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, our congratulations to Victoria, our commiserations to Western Australia. Thank you for joining us for Cricket Australia, for Sportscast Australia, and everyone involved with the tournament. I'm Cameron Walter. Thanks for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep the applause going for our 2 grand finalists. What an amazing final it was, WA and Victoria. There can only be one winner on the day. Our hearts go out to Western Australia, an amazing tournament and a fantastic effort deep into the last over today. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for our runners-up for 2022, Western Australia. They'll be presented with their medals by Head of Cricket Operations from Cricket Australia, Peter Roach. Our gallant runners-up, ladies and gentlemen, that of course brings us to our champions. What a grand final they've played. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 national champions, Victoria. And ladies and gentlemen, as they receive their shield, the national title, let's hear it one more time. The 2022 Under-18 Boys National Champions, Victoria. Ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude the Junior Indoor Cricket National Championships. Thanks so much to everyone involved that has made the tournament possible, and in particular to everyone watching at home and here in the venue. I'm Cameron Walter. Thanks for watching.
Your under-18 boys national champions. It's a devastating finish from Western Australia, but Victoria, you can't take anything away from them. They've put on a great score in the final, and they've played the best innings of their life with the ball and in the field to restrict Western Australia to 103, I think it was in the end, to take out the title by 9 runs. That's a great piece of fielding.
Got him, U18. One for the leg spinner.
Leg stump finds a gap. Can he hit the stumps? Oh, I reckon he was out. That'll do.
That is an absolutely sensational piece of fielding from